Many people probably know who you are, but just for those that are just tuning in, if you can just say who you are.
Yeah, say my name is Michael Venom Page, nickname, I say MVP. Been kickboxing for 30 plus years.
Don't give it away.
I know. And MMA for about 15, and built my way up. Started on like the more local shows, a show called UCMMA in MMA, and did really, really well. Kind of progressed to a bigger show, Bellator, which was the second biggest show in MMA at the time. Now on the biggest show in MMA now, the UFC. And yeah, in the kickboxing world, I achieved loads, 10 times kickboxing world champion, European champion, so on and so forth.
Epic.
And just keep building and establishing my name within the MMA world.
It's established.
Establishing
it's definitely
further.
established. Where did Venom come from?
So a good friend of mine, Marvin Francis, is like an older brother. So he used to train under my instructor, my dad, as well. And he just came up with a nickname. He was just crack jokes in the gym. And he used to be like, "Oh man, for such a skinny kid, you got a lot of venom to your punches." And he just kind of kept saying it to the point where I made it my nickname, and would put it on like my registers form anytime I had to register to fight.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it just kind of stuck. And then I think it was a comment in one of my videos later on when I got into MMA, when someone was like, "Oh, MVP," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even put it together."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, it's perfect." So I just kind of ran with that.
Oh, that's nice. They're normally the best names though.
Yeah. Just when it just comes to you, instead of forcing your nickname on people, it just comes to you naturally. It's better.
No, it is. I had T-Rex.
Is it?
Because I'm so short and my arms are small, but I had big legs. It was like everyone was like, "Rah," and I said, "You know what? I'm making it."
Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
I got my mum's side.
And I saw the smile when as you were saying it, it's like memory lane.
Yeah, 100%. My mum's side of the family is Jamaican, so nicknames is a standard thing.
Oh, like, we always have this joke actually.
Yeah, standard thing.
Yeah, well, like I'm going to have to say, one of my husband's mates has just lost his tooth, and it's just he's toothless now. That's it. That's his name now. Whatever it was before, he's toothless now.
Yeah, I had it. I went to Willenhall, Trinidad, and I had injured my foot before, so I went over on crutches.
Yeah,
and my grandma would call me Brocco, and for years, and I'm like, I'm fine now. It's fixed. She's like, "Yeah, Brocco, come here. All right, cool, whatever."
No, they're the cute ones.
That's it. Man. It's one of those things.
What made you get into combat? Because this is a couple of times I've met you, and I just pick up the most humblest of guys, and a lot of people always associate probably the Venom side, right?
Yeah.
The powerhouse or the fighting, and not the real you.
Yeah,
what got you into it?
It's been part of me for years. So literally, the reason it's been so long is because my first martial arts class, I was 3 years old. I was a kid, running around. It was in my family. Both my mum and my dad used to do it, and then my dad got to a point where he was so taken with it and did so well in it, he ended up quitting his job to just teach.
Oh wow.
And then that's when obviously his kids were born, and he just put us in it. It's just a standard thing now, to the point where even my nieces and nephews, all of them train. It's just like a school martial arts, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You just have to do it, and it's not for the actual combat side of things. We don't want all of our or the next generation to be fighters. But what you gain from it, the confidence that they gain from it, the respect levels that they gain from it, the social skills that they gain from it, is what people don't talk about.
Yeah.
And which is why, again, like you're saying, that you're a humble person. I was growing up in martial arts. You have to bow to go into classes, bow to leave classes, bow to show respect to your opponent. Like you grew with a lot of respect as a foundation because of martial arts. So yeah, I think that's why.
So do you think? Because my son's got ADHD and autism, and he's 21 now. And if you met him, unless you knew the traits, you wouldn't see it. But it was so prominent that he was diagnosed at 4. It was an instant diagnosis. Yeah. And I remember when I put him in Muay Thai, and his teacher was like, "You can't do that. It's going to send him crazy. Nope. He's already..." And the discipline and the other element of just being able to learn differently has transformed him immensely. So I fully understand when you're saying about children going into it. Personally, I think all kids should go into some sort of...
I've been an advocate for this for years. I think it should be in the school system. martial arts in general should just be in a school system. It will help with the kids. And like I said, all those things, variables I've just said. And there's so many kids that I've taught. And weirdly enough, I used to teach in Cobham. And for years, for some reason, there was a lot of kids with autism, ADHD, this, that, different things, different diagnoses on all levels of the spectrum. So I had one of the kids, Dan, who literally used to rock, like while he's like training. He would laugh to himself because he's replaying Simpson episodes in his head.
That's cute.
Lovely kid. But again, his mum came to me when he first came. He wouldn't give me any eye contact, which is a common trait, and so on and so forth. But she said, like the teachers in school would just leave him to one side. So he was 14 when he came to us. And he said he's got like the strength of like a 9-year-old because when he does any kind of activities, nobody is willing to put that time and effort in. I was like, yeah, no worries. He's perfect here. Had one-on-one with him for a long time just to kind of get him. And one thing I noticed as well is they know that people use this thing of autism and whatever it is to allow them to get away with stuff as well. So I started to notice, I was like I asked him to do a couple push-ups for me and he's, and I'm like, well, I'll stay here. And he's never been challenged like that. And he got to the point where he's doing 10 push-ups back like comfortably, and then this and that. His mum said his behavior in school's improved and this and that and so on. So yeah, it's massively helps kids with attention deficit and all those kind of things. I've seen it myself because I've personally experienced it, and as you know as well. So yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's one thing I used to always say is like my son has the condition. The condition doesn't have my son.
Exactly.
Because
great
exactly what you say. But I've noticed that, like, especially with ADHD, I know a lot of people kind of tarnish it because to be able to differentiate between a naughty kid and a kid that's got ADHD is kind of like a margin that I don't really get to see. And I think combat, because everybody in the class is as one, right? And if one messes up, you're all taking the punishment now. So I do think it's absolutely phenomenal for children that are on the spectrum. Definitely. But I also feel that for mental health, one thing that I know is, like, I'm mid-40s, and when I was growing up, we had like youth centres and mobile libraries, so we had stuff that occupied
100%,
us. And we were still naughty, nowhere near what they are today, but we still had naughty stuff. And I was quite an angry kid, so getting into street fights and stuff was just like
normal,
next to nothing. But as I grew, I kind of realized that I feel like it's because I didn't have nothing to, like, I didn't have a release, like how to channel. And now that I've gone into psychology, one of the biggest standouts is that children don't understand emotion. And then to not be able to understand what it is that their brains are trying to process just comes out as anger because it's a confusing state. And then that misinterpretation can then lead them to do a lot of stuff on
100%.
On the road or whatever. So one of my biggest things now is about trying to, in a sense, advocate for not just adults, but for children in combat sport, because I think that right mindset can transform them into adulthood immensely. Is there any experiences that you could say in regards to mental health in training, even if it's like for yourself? Because another thing is, in combat sport, we tend to use it as our release, our channel. But I'm going to come on to another question after in regards to, now that you've flipped the coin in a sense. But is there anything that you could talk on about the mental health side of training?
Well, you kind of see it in a lot of people. There's this place, and I say this place as in specifically gyms and training gyms and so on and so forth, is almost an escape from reality. So the struggles and the stresses, you found a location where none of that means anything. You know what I mean? But what does mean something is your effort and your hard work that you put in. But also that release of with regards to punches and kicks and so on is a stress relief as well. So again, it's like you could be angry at all that stuff at the world or whatever. And when you let that go and you're putting it all into this place here and you're allowed to manifest those emotions into physical action, when you kind of go back outside, you feel like, like calm. And we'd have to do this every day. this is probably the most peaceful place, and we beat each other up here every day.
It sounds crazy.
It's weird,
right?
isn't it? Yeah. When I tell people that, it's like, doesn't make sense. But I feel like, especially through combat and battle, you become closer to the people that you are battling with. Although, and I always say, like, this looks like a solo sport, but it's not. Like, I can't do anything. I can't progress without my teammates here.
Of course, yeah.
And these are the very same teammates. I'm like, this person's busted his nose and he's hit me and I've done this and I've done like, and we're still super close.
Yeah.
And the fact is that so many people don't have that release. So when they're on the roads now, they have a chance to manifest it, that's when it comes out. This is why a lot of fighters tend to be calmer when you meet them outside. 100%. It's like, we've exhausted our testosterone.
Yeah. There's nothing left to give.
There's nothing left, but like, that chill. I prefer that. The last thing I'm doing is trying to fight anybody.
Yeah.
So I get why people are like confused, because it's like they see that vicious and ferocious, like the MVP, the Venom side when you go out and I'm out there fighting, but you can't have that turn on all the time.
Do you know what's crazy? You're probably one of the, in fact, you are one of the fighters that I will put in the category of enjoyment. It sounds crazy because you can kind of look at fighters in boxing, in MMA, in kickboxing, and you can kind of see which ones are in there because they've got so much love and respect for the sport and not for what the sport entails, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're definitely one of them. Whether it's your little finishing Pokemon or whatever it is, you can see that enjoyment, that passion's there.
100%.
And I don't think you show venom in a vindictive way, if that makes sense.
No. It's definitely playful.
You show it with that sincere enjoyment to the sport, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's more that's more how I've manifested martial art. That's another thing as well. There could be 20 of us in here. It's the same coaches. We all learn the same things, and we become different fighters.
Yeah.
We've learned the same moves, the same thing, but this person's taken this one a bit more, and he's like really, and this person I've taken to that style, that one a bit more, and that, and then you become, and then you add your personality to it as well. Yeah. And that's all it's our fight personas, our personalities is what we're expressing. Yeah. And part of my Caribbean culture, it's always been very playful and like love to dance, smile, and that's what I manifest through my.
Don't ever lose that enjoyment. Please don't ever lose that enjoyment.
If I do,
I'd stop. When people go out there and they're a little bit like blinkers, I need.
But that's
I
just
feel
different.
like that's when they start tripping over a little bit.
I'd say the thing is, for me, it's just different cultures. Like, some people need to manifest it in that way. Yeah. Some people need to make it real in order for them to, because I got guys in here that they hit people and I'm sorry, and says, no, that's part of the game. You're supposed to hit me. But in order for them to get past that, because it's not a normal thing or a thing that you should feel comfortable with. But so in order for you to get past that, they have to be like, I don't like you. I have to switch on this thing, and that's why the face-offs are always intense. And I have to make it feel real in order for me to do what I need to do. Yeah. And then thereafter, the guys are hugging and like, oh man, great fight. Blah blah.
So what does your brain do instead of the?
It's a game for me. It's a game for me because I've done it since I was so young. I don't see the violence in it.
You've got me. I've got to get you now.
It's a game. Yes, it's more like a football game. I just got to score more goals.
I refer it to as the tic-tac-toe.
Okay.
Tic-tac-toe. Where can I go?
Yeah.
See what I can
get. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's what, for me, I spend more time in the game element of it, and then obviously the martial arts element of it, and then trying to figure things out.
Yeah, incorporate them together.
And that's why I can enjoy it, because I'm playing a game. But not everyone can live in that zone. Yeah. And it's okay for me. I know there's guys that I've fought, and afterwards we're cool, like talk and stuff. But in that fight, he was trying to take my head off, which is fine. And he needed to be angry to do it. And I understand it. Everyone's different. Yeah.
But it's good that you've got that understanding.
Yeah, you have to.
It takes a lot to have that understanding, a lot of maturity to have that.
But it's also because I spend so much time with guys that are like that, but I'm not their opponent. They're like that, but I see how they are in terms of
from outside of the wall,
outside, outside of the wall. So I know that I can see them having to get to a certain place just to deliver the result that you want. So I can kind of take understanding and there's empathy in that when I see it from other people.
Epic. So do you know earlier I said about that? I'm going to ask you the flip side of the coin. So obviously when you came into combat, it was you was brought up in it. It was in your DNA, you might say. But again, when you was a child, if you got annoyed at school or whatever, you was able to go gym and release that. Now that it's become a paycheck, do you feel that there's extra pressure on you and taken away from you being able to release that, or do you feel that you still have that means?
There's definitely more pressures to deliver.
Yeah.
I put a lot of pressure. I put more pressure on myself to deliver because of I'm not just feeding myself anymore. I'm feeding a family. I'm trying to manifest and deliver my future. And it's the paychecks and it's the success of those kind of things that allow me to do those things. So there's always, when you're a kid, it's easy. You can do it and then, go back home and sleep in your mum's house. It doesn't matter. Like, you're good. But now you're paying the bills and you know what I mean? Yes, there's definitely more pressures, but I try to make sure I'm leaning still more on the enjoyment side.
Okay.
And I have to check myself.
Yeah.
Like you lose yourself sometimes and you realize you're kind of like, you're focusing too much on the financials and and it's like, no, go back to how did you feel before? You have to kind of I think that's what people forget to do.
Yeah.
You need to look in the mirror and go, where am I at right now? Oh yeah, okay, Michael, you're doing too much. Or at least have somebody there that can notice that in you and be like, Michael, this is not you, man. Like, what's going on? Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, let me get back on it. So it helps if you have a support system, or for me, the best way is to be able to do it to yourself. Always have stopping points to see where you're at. And that's not just for potential negatives. Sometimes you're doing so well, you forget where you've come from.
Yeah.
So you're thinking the next thing. And like, you're so eager to get to the next thing. And sometimes you stop for a second, you look back and you're like, shit, man, I used to be.
Yeah.
Like I was in certain, I've been in so many, since career has got me to so many just random places. Example being, I'm chilling, 50 Cent with 50 Cent. He picks me up in a car and we're driving like 3 hours from one city to the next and we're just chatting. And and then it's after that point, because these things will happen quite regularly. After that point, I had to sit back and be like, that's not normal. Like, I was a little kid in Northwest London that I need to be able to actually give myself a pat on the back for what I've achieved. Yeah. And I feel like you need to give yourself stopping points in order to regulate yourself, to make sure you're not leaning in the wrong direction, but also appreciate yourself and say, oh, well done, man. Like, actually take a second to be
I don't think enough people do that,
100%, because we're always chasing the next thing. And then when we get it, we're like, cool, next thing, next thing.
But it's kind of embedded in us. If you
100%.
kind of think about a parent raising two children, one's good and one's naughty, most of the focus is going to go on the naughty one and not the good one. Like, I feel like the recognition should be there from start. So well done for recognizing yourself.
It's just weird. Like, I've always been curious about people. That's me personally, about people, like psychology, like you're saying. I didn't study specific psychology courses, but I've done like complex trauma courses, like small courses and things like that, and I look into it and I'm just like, I get why people do this. So when I see certain things, I'll try to have understanding first. Yeah. And I'll try to figure out something.
That so badly, right? Just full on understanding.
And I think it's easy for people to jump into groups to feel safe. So the reason why we lack understanding is because I jump into a group, you're not my group, so it's us against you, and then that group and it's us against them, and we've got into a bad habit of labeling stuff and then like putting all our eggs in that basket, and then to the point where we're blinded. Like, we're blinded by the actions of the people in that group. So that we've now, because I've claimed myself, I've labeled myself this group. When I see negative actions, I don't want to challenge it, because it almost challenges my own identity. And this is why I say you need to be able to check yourself and say, am I leaning in the right direction? This could be like an example of that could be voting. People are like, I am Labour. You might be Labour this year, but next year, Labour might have changed. So why are you saying I am this thing? It should be, I voted Labour last.
For these reasons.
For these reasons. And next year, I'm going to check again.
Yeah.
But people just label themselves. Then it's like, cool. I'm just going to go with them, whatever they say.
You know, that's another thing that's been embedded again.
Yeah.
Because if you think about like preschool, you get put on tables,
True.
right? Ladybird, butterfly, caterpillar.
Very true, very true.
And then when you go to school, you get put in
different
classes. So you might be in
Y and this and
7Y, 7B, 7D. And I feel like even that in itself is probably one of the biggest downfalls in how we see children today. We was having this discussion at university as well. One of the women was talking about how like black children, especially black boys, get penalized a lot more, and it has to be recognized because if there was a group of, let's say, 5 black boys on one side, 5 white boys on another side, and they both wore exactly the same, walked and spoke exactly the same, the black boys unfortunately are going to get looked at like they're the naughty ones and not the group of white boys. But we're taught to be in groups. Preschool, we're taught to be in groups. And now that they're just a group of friends, not doing nothing wrong, minding their own business, they just get they get penalized.
It's funny, I've had that before. So in secondary school, it was me and my friends were just walking in the hallway. I think it was going from lunch to whatever our class. And we were loud characters and like all big characters, cracking jokes, blah, blah, but all playful. And later at the end of the class, like the day, I think the head teacher called us into the office and it's like, the one of the teachers had said that we were walking in the hallway into like it being quite intimidating. And we were like, all of us were kind of like, we didn't even know what it was. It was like, I don't know when you're talking about, let alone like what. I don't get this. It's like, you guys need to be careful. And they tried to do a thing where they're saying that you guys try not to walk in big groups. And I was like, we were challenged stuff that we think that was nonsense. We're like, good. That's never going to happen. If we're together, we're together. Like if someone's intimidated by it, that's kind of on them. Yeah. Like it's not us. And she was understanding of it. We're like, look, I'm just kind of be aware of your surroundings. I said, yeah, cool. I think that's fair to be aware of your surroundings, but you can't ask us to not chat to each other because some people might be intimidated. It's like, that's not fair. But it is that. It was a group of black kids standing together, walking down the hall.
It wouldn't be the same if it was
exactly. But again, I think that's the side of unfortunate side of reality that some people need to kind of get to. I've been in many situations where my emotional side wants me to do this.
The logic side.
The logical side says if I do that, I'm an angry black man immediately. Even if I'm correct in me feeling this way and me being annoyed by something. So I had to take a different route. But it's difficult to do. Very difficult to do. And I think, like I said, I value martial arts so much for me to be able to manage my emotions well enough to not be like go off the rails. And it's not all the time. Again, it had to be through learning as a teenager, you know, and even like early adult. If I'm vexed, I'm just like, gone.
That's it.
But then as you grow, you realize again, you are looked at different, or you can be looked at different, and you got to be a bit more aware of how you are showing yourself, and then also how you are then. Unfortunately, I'm going to be categorized in a certain group, as you say. How I then showing this person how the rest of us can be. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm a representation, whether I liked it or not, whether I wanted to be or not. So if I go off the rails, I justify that person to feel a way about every single other person. Right. Whereas if I'm show them something different, even if I'm fuming inside, but I show them like, look, behave yourself, man. Like, can I do it in a bit more calm, well-mannered way? It at least gives them a bit of like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, it's not all of them, so to speak. Yeah. But yeah, it is. It's an unfortunate reality that we hopefully we can figure out a way to kind of
I feel like literally just through education. Yeah. Education. Now that you've grown and you've got a status, do you feel that you've gone through different transitions in how you've been looked at? So like you said, when you was younger, you was a black boy and you took the stigma from that. And then before you became well known and profound in the industry, you would have got seen as like another, I'm going to have to say character, because we are characters throughout life. Yeah. And then now that you're in the industry, a third person, do you feel that you get looked at differently just because of your status and people don't actually see Michael?
100%. And I think the earlier stages of that when I really noticed it is I used to get, I'd say 95% of my comments were negative because
Really?
yeah, in the early stages of my career, when a lot of my earlier videos went viral for the antics that I did, a lot of people saw it as just disrespectful and over cocky and these were the labels that would be attached to me.
By people that's never fought in their life,
of
right?
course. It's always going to be that category.
Yeah,
but
of
then at the
course,
same
yeah.
time, when there is a large amount of people doing it,
Yeah.
again, people don't have that kind of struggle with that self-recognition to go like, oh, let me look at it a bit more. Let me see from a different. No, they just go jump with the group. They just follow the group.
Yeah.
So again, loads of people would then jump on the same side of, and it took years. I think the first time when things started shifting more, I'd say it was when I fought Cyborg, and this was me. I was already like 4 or 5 years in. And then again, when I got to the UFC, there's still a lot of question marks over me. And then when I got to the UFC, people paid a little bit more attention because there was already kind of like can he do it still at the UFC? And then when I did, people paid more attention to my interviews and they're like, oh, actually the guy's quite cool.
Yeah.
But initially they watch a fight video and then they make their whole idea of who I am is based on that.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Nothing will change from that point.
Yeah.
Again, I had to just accept it. This is part of the process. And I don't even know the end result. I don't know if they're ever going to change, but in my head, I am not going to change. I know myself well enough, and I got a good group around me to know. They're like, you're killing it, man, like that one. And they would be the first people to be like, Michael, you're moving incorrect now.
Okay.
So I got good people around me. So I feel blessed to have that. Probably because I got a large family, but I'm blessed to have that for the people that they're not going to just be yes men around me. They're going to be like, no, that was a bad move. You shouldn't have done that. They'll tell me.
Definitely the right people.
Yeah. And it's important to try and surround yourself with that. But I was always going to be myself, and it's turned out like it's gone complete opposite side now. It's probably 90% positive comments in comparison to what it was when I first started. But yeah, I haven't shown different sides of me. I think people have met me at different times of my career, and they've had different they paint different pictures of me based on when they've seen me.
Yeah. So you don't feel that you're always just being tarnished as the man in the gloves? Do you feel that you get seen as the person behind the gloves as well?
I think for the most part, I said more so now, but for the most of my career, it was always going to be the person. There was always the person you see mostly, which is the fight persona.
And they disregarded the person behind.
Yeah, you did. Nobody really, again, pays too much attention. It's like nowadays people get headlines of a incident. They don't read the story.
Yeah.
So the headlines of the incident, and then they start spreading exactly what happened. Oh, this guy shot something.
Yeah.
It never. When you actually read it, that was just for you to read.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with that. So, but that's, again, unfortunately, that's just people nowadays. It's we like quick information, and you don't want to spend too much time wasted on actually doing research and looking into things. Unfortunately, so yeah, for the most part, I think most of my career, it's been the negative side, or just been brush painted with like, that's just MVP, that's his way, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
More so of recent times, last couple of years, 2-3 years, people have been like seeing more interview. I think because I'm with UFC now, their marketing is great. People actually spend a bit more time because they're like hardcore fans of UFC, not necessarily the sport. They spend more time watching all the shows that they put on, and the interviews that they have. So yeah, it's definitely changed.
Do you think that's the hardest part of training?
In terms of
the hardest part of being a professional fighter, what would you say that's what that is? Like being able to maintain your own identity whilst people are trying to tarnish
I think that's the
performance that you put on, because technically that's what it is, right?
I think that's the hardest part of life, though, because that could happen in any industry, or if you meet a group of people, if you go to a new workplace and there's a clique of people that you feel a bit ousted because they've had a relationship, so that you start to try to bend and change to fit into this group, and it's very difficult to want to maintain yourself and wait for the time where people start gravitating towards you and accepting you. So people kind of change and put on different masks in different scenarios.
Definitely.
So that's a normal thing. So, but the definitely the hardest part of training is the training itself. Like trying to be good in this sport is difficult.
Yeah,
it's very hard. There's so many different disciplines.
World. Yeah,
there's just so many different disciplines to learn. There's also difficult to even get your opportunity. I know, especially even here in this gym, biasly speaking, like there's some exceptional fighters in this gym and they haven't been signed or recognized yet. I'm hoping for it to happen. But they're super talented, super talented. They just haven't been recognized yet. And that's difficult in itself, just especially in the UK as well. The guys in America, there's a lot more talk, like in and amongst gyms and, you know, people cross-train and stuff. So I guess the UFC, because they're based over that side, they'll hear more about these new up-and-coming fighters a bit easier. Whereas over here, it's a little bit more difficult. We've had a lot more people come through, but it's still difficult.
Unfortunately, it's one of those sports, like combat in itself, where I don't think it's just talent that they want to see in the ring. Like what else can you bring? Because it's a marketing sport, right? So they want you to sell tickets. Yep. So what can you bring?
You have to be more. You have to be more of a personality. You have to put yourself out. Like, it's not you. There's talented fighters that nobody will ever hear about unless you put. Especially nowadays, online, you got to put yourself out there. You got to tell people your story from the beginning. Like start videoing yourself on your journey and get supporters slowly building. And listen to your story, hearing your story, and then these are the guys that will want to buy your tickets and want to travel to fight to watch you fight later on. And that's why the promoters will look at and see, okay, if they had two options, this guy's a super talented fighter but nobody knows him, this guy's kind of talented but everybody knows him, I'm going for that guy on the left.
They
do.
What I
mean? They do it all the time.
Sad world. What would you do if you weren't in combat? What would be your outlet?
I've always been a sports person. So I used to play football when I was younger. I played basketball. I've done skiing. I've done American football. I've done swimming. I've done tennis. Like I would have figured my way out in something. The only reason I'd say that I was in martial arts or stayed in martial arts is because it was like a family thing. Yeah. So no matter where I went to start, I'd be killing it over here, and then I just end up. I'm always doing martial arts in between. Always gravitated back, and then I'm doing this. But I'd always do really well. Like in football, I was a QPR trials, Fulham trials. Like I was playing with doing Sunday League, Saturday teams, this, that. Like I could play football. Basketball, I was doing really well. Cricket, I was playing at Lords. Like skiing, I had one of the coaches over there going, they want to train me for the Olympics for slalom. Loads of I was always very competent in sports. Anything that, but I still base it because of my martial arts. But anything active, I'm on. Nowadays, it's that, but also I kind of enjoy creating things in terms of business-wise. Like I started a production company. We've got actually weirdly enough a football league coming. I've done a combat league coming. There's just, I like to just things that come to mind. I like to try and create. So there's loads of things.
So you're always busy outside.
Always busy. Always busy.
It's probably the best thing that I think any fighter can do is taking on something outside of the sport.
It has to be timed right. Because
it does.
Two things you need to highlight. You need to get a spotlight first within the sport. So you need to be doing well. And then if you get the spotlight and start distracting yourself too soon, you might lose that spotlight real quick. And people are very fickle. The second you lose, they're like, I'm not buying anything that you're doing.
Yes, that's so bad, right?
So I mean, and it is bad. Again, fans are not necessarily true supporters anymore. Like fans before, back in the day,
was real fans.
If you lost, I'm with you. Yeah, I want you to get back.
It's bizarre because they do it for football, right?
Oh yeah, but again,
teams never winning.
They make it their identity.
But
again, as in because for example, if I support, let's say, I live in Liverpool and I'm a Liverpool supporter, I've made the whole thing my identity.
It's now a community.
It's now a community thing. Like like when they say my team and we beat this person and we did this and we. So I've made it a me thing. So that's why it's easier to kind of do the highs and lows of it.
Yeah.
But when it's just, this is that guy, I kind of like what he's doing. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, he lost. I'm not interested.
It was bad, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's difficult. And again, this is even another side of it is where when you get true fans, it's usually because they can find something relatable. Oh, he comes from the same area that I come from. So that's why, again, you start creating attachments that make you feel like you are one with that person. And then you get longer lasting fans. But not everybody has that.
But do you feel that the longer lasting fans are not just because they've related, but they've actually took time out to see the real person?
Yeah, but that usually comes from
finding that relatable.
If I find it relatable and now I want to know more about that person.
Yeah.
If I don't have anything to relate to, I just want you to entertain me now.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and if the
that's the
entertainment
trade-off.
stops, then
If the
it's
entertainment stops,
on
like,
to the next.
yeah, let me find something else that will entertain
Yeah.
me. So yeah, which is, again, it's unfortunate, but that
It's
is
part
the
of-
reality.
part and parcel, yeah. Bizarre question. We'll tie it up with a bizarre question. The reason I'm going to do this is because the last podcast that I done, I had Vidal on there and Nana. And before the podcast, we was all very bantery. Podcast went on, they was like very serious. The camera guy, though, kept on putting the camera on me. So I just looked like I was a goofy person just laughing. But these two are doing facial stuff to each other. And then as soon as the camera went off, Nana looks at Vidal and says, have you got any rituals? And I was like, you twat. Why didn't you ask that on there when we're trying to set it up? Because Nana's an amateur boxer and Vidal's a pro. And I wanted kids that are going into it to see the journey and be able to see the kind of questions that an amateur would want to ask a pro. So I'm going to ask you it. Is there any weird rituals that you do?
Weirdly enough, no. And it's my ritual, if a ritual, is just chaos. It sounds weird, but the kickboxing world that I come from, I'm going to give you an example of what it would be. We'd get to a sports hall, we'd register, put the registration in, and then we'd be like watching whoever goes on first. So it might be some of the youngest kids will usually go first. So watching the kids, and so you might be coaching. And because it's a tight-knit community, the guy that runs the organization might go, yo, Michael, can you just referee this next? Oh, yeah, cool. I jump on the mat, start refereeing to help out. So I'm refereeing, and then someone else will call me, oh, can you coach me? Yeah, I'll go and coach. So you're running around, it's just mayhem. There's 6 mats going on, everyone's shouting at each other. And then I hear my name get called, oh, Michael, you need to get to area. Oh, shit, now I need to run away, get my pads on, get ready, warm myself up. And while I still run and coach somebody else, and it's just mayhem.
So would you say that's a ritual, or would you say that that's more of a distraction technique?
No, but it's just, I feel like I didn't really think specifically about how I would set up. That was just how my world was.
Yeah.
So then when I got into MMA and I didn't have all those distractions, I would just do whatever I want. Like I've been on the day of my fight, I bought my decks, mixing, my family all in my room. There's like 12 of us in the room, and we're dancing, and people come in and like, are you fighting today? It's like, yeah, bro,
I feel like you might have to do your own little snippet of this to show the world, because I feel
even
like
even up to the point, even in my like in my changing room, I bring my speaker and I'm just dancing. You warm yourself up, you're dancing. You warm yourself up, you're dancing, and it's just chaos. It is not. I don't like structures, but when I thought about it, I was kind of happy that I ended up that way, simply because
if it goes wrong.
Yeah, because when you have a certain ritual, especially when you're traveling, sometimes it's hard to get these things exactly the way you need it, and then it can mess you up mentally.
Yeah, that was what our discussion was.
Yeah.
Nana said he has to wear the same pants.
Oh, is it?
And I was like, so what happens if you didn't have them pants?
Yeah. That's what I mean. There's too much stress on putting it on.
Yeah.
I'm like, the second the bell goes, I can turn on. I could have parachuted down, jumped in the car, gone there, had a car crash, jumped out, sprinted to the thing, took someone's scooter, started scooting, get to the place, and I'm good to fight.
So I'm a visual learner, right? And I just kind of watched all that in my head. And I'm thinking that would make it good.
I'm glad, but that's the thing, when I get there, none of that means anything. I'm good to fight.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll switch on, let's go. So I'm glad that I have that ability, and I know some people need to put that in something else. So I feel like you don't need to. For me, I've trained hard, it's stressful enough. Why am I putting extra stress on myself on that day? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen now.
Yeah.
I'm either better than the person or he's better than me. We'll figure it out.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to enjoy the whole.
And I think that's why it works. Because you enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'm going to thank you so much for your time. I don't want it to drag on because I don't want to lose anybody that's listening. Although it's been entertaining all the way through. But I like to end it with you giving, if you was to give one sound bit of advice to anybody that wanted to get in combat sport for anything, whether it's for mental health, whether it's like any form of disabilities, just evolving in it, anybody want just one sound piece of advice that you can give anybody?
Yeah, I would suggest don't get into combat sports aiming at what it looks like at the end. just get into it, because some people struggle. They look at the end result and they're like, I can't do that. You start questioning whether whether you want to do that and this and that, or can I do that? And just take the first step. The first step is just go to the class, see if you enjoy it, see what you learn. You should remember there's so many other benefits that is if you are really enjoying it and you want to take it somewhere and really do it for a living. We're not even at that stage. You don't even know if you even like it.
Yeah.
So just take the first step. Figure out where your local group or your training gym is. Research to see how good they are. If they're good, if they can take you somewhere, just go and train.
Yeah. I might actually add to yours. I don't normally add, but one thing I would say as well is not to get consumed in one gym, because one gym don't fit all. Like
Not
one
at
style
all.
of training don't fit all. Coaches don't fit all. I'm not
It's all personalities.
knocking any coach,
No,
because
it's
there's some
personalities.
phenomenal coaches out there, but it's about that.
Yeah, you might not gel. You might
compatibility.
not gel with that person. It could be Bruce Lee. You know he's Bruce Lee. You go there and you just can't
relate.
You can't relate. Can't gel. He's not the best person for you.
Yeah.
He's an exceptional athlete, exceptional martial artist, but you might need to go down the road to somebody else.
Oh, well, thank you so much
No
for your
worries,
time.
no
Thank
worries.
you.